going on? This internet sucks. Right. That's how's it going? What's up? Hey, I would say Halito or OCO or all the good stuff. I don't think it's necessary. I think if you want to learn a language, go right ahead. Become a linguist. It's not hard. Let me get into it here in a minute. Is that Lulu or is that Jag or who is it? Let's see who it is. Usually I can see. I'm doing some things. Okay, there we go. All right. There we go. Awesome. Yeah, I haven't put no banners up. I'm gonna put some things up top. I'm not gonna be doing no green, blue, white screens or anything like that. You're just gonna see me as I'm gonna keep it as natural and organic as possible. For anybody that might question what this is organic. They're very small. Red potatoes, garlic, parsley, cilantro, red and yellow onions, and I got fresh shallot and fresh garlic downstairs. Dr. C was right about a lot of things, and even him and I had a discussion about garlic because I know how far garlic goes back, and I told him I don't know where he got that information from to be such a pristine doctor, and he's a great man. He's done some wonderful things when he was alive, but what he was telling people about garlic was a lie. You can like drinking water. You can drink water to the levels of toxicity are ridiculous. Um, okay. I'm going to be doing in pictures though soon, where I do split screens on here and pull up information and share. And I'll be using my cell phone as well. I found out a way to do a lot of things because I don't have split screens as some would believe. I mean, I don't have split, like three screens where they're shared. You know what I'm talking about. But anywho, okay, here we go. So I'll be projecting it and doing it from my TV with a instead of my laptop or my cell phone or my tablet. I have a camera that's mounted on top of my TV. I'm not gonna pick my laptop, turn around, and it's all HDMI. It's all wired in. My GoPro. When I'm doing stuff, walking about, I'll be uploading and doing and sharing all that stuff. But I'm not gonna be doing all this feminist shit. I'm gonna be keeping it very masculine as far as who we are, regardless of what's going on out there, without denoting or, you know, I'm not about bringing harm to nobody. I'm not with that. I'm not with crayon colors and all that stuff. But I can tell some of my fellow skin brothers, y'all ain't that long here. You can believe that. Yeah, not that long here. I guess that's maybe why they run around so crazy because how you came into this world was was through us. Believe it or not, I really don't care. And it was an augmentation because of certain clans or tribes, degenerate behaviors that walked away from. Look, after the Great Flood, the deluge, separation of land masses, I don't want to hear nothing about Gaia and this, that, and all this other Pangea, whatever. You know what? Don't want to hear nothing about none of that stuff. None of that craziness. What I like to do is get to the root and the relevance of what's here, and the fact that there are people in top positions who lie. Look at Fox News. I'm conservative, right? But I would vote libertarian. The only problem is I don't like voting because both so-called parties are parties. And their interests are not for the people, by the people, of the people. They're in direct opposition to organic truths. Fox is just a big liar too. It's on the bandwagon train for vaccines that don't exist. Well, isn't it Pfizer right now attempting to get what you call it by FDA But we know the FDA will make it a vaccine. The problem what people don't understand is the long-term effects. And this is the problem that we're dealing with. I'll change my hat out. Just go ahead, because I still like my Yankees, all right? That's my name. I got so many ball caps, y'all. And I'm going to head out here in a little bit, take care of some business, check my mail, and go to the ER, find out what's going on with my heart, when there shouldn't be nothing wrong with my heart, because we don't have heart disease in my family. I don't drink. Smoke a little weed, that don't affect your heart. But I know what happened a year and a half ago. See, things like this, and the fact that we have consortiums, corporations, doctors and hospitals, corporations. If doctors, you gotta remember, doctors are educated by a system that's not about curing and healing. Only those who become holistic and walk away, and they have the monetary funds for the moment to have a greenhouse and grow herbs and stuff like that they can find around the world. They travel, and a lot of them do bring them back. I used to watch Nova and see this. And they take care of their family and they take care of people, and they see nothing because they know that the government, because of who they are, will come and destroy or remove that. But I know a few doctors, sad thing, not over here, who have the means to x-ray, some of them millionaires, and have CAT scans in their little warehouse of medical practices that are natural. But in order to check, they have these. They're around. Fox, who writes a lot of their material, people right out of college with the stuff they've been fed. And they buy into and believe. You want to call them millennials, Z people, or whatever you want. All these labels and names are ridiculous. But it's well known. I mean, what was that one reporter who Fox fired because she was bringing into the questions and the relevance of journalism? But even the lady who managed her said literally, we don't care what the people want. We care about the general manager and the CEO. And that's a Negro. D-Art, whatever his name is, Fox 26, right? It's all the same though. And see, people want to believe that it's a black and white when I keep telling you it's not that. First of all, there's no such thing as black and white in its truth and meaning. The narrative is baseless in a construct created. I get tired of saying the word Zionist. I really do. Department of Justice, right? You think that is just that's a private enterprise. They're not justice and department of, not for, not by, not from. I mean, when are people going to wake up and realize? Because see, they can stop a lot of this craziness. First of all, MPs who fought in combat and can hide and lie like a lot of special force guys about their PTSD, just so they can keep a firearm, this, that, and other. Which PTSD shouldn't waver that. It's about whether you're a sociopath or not. Join the police department, and they get suited up and they go out there and they act the same way on these streets, on our soil, our motherland, because history is a complete fabrication and lie. White supremacy is a fatality in itself, because the people that created it don't care about none of us. For you who believe you're a crayon color, they don't care about your act. Who believe you're a citizen, do you know what a citizen means? Not of this land. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that? I'm not here to burst no bubble. I'm not here to stop what they're doing. I am only talking to you. They claim woke. Everything that we've done, they've taken it and utilized it to create some fabricated ideology or some narrative that's baseless, to remove the power from what has literally happened to us overnight. Some of us, regardless of 30 or 40, 50 years of history or understanding or the knowledge, but the moment it all sparked forward, they turned it into the truth movement. See, truth isn't a movement. It's like saying, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, come on. It's not a movement. It's not from here to there. See, the truth is based on order, right? the truth means it's based upon facts, right? So if these individuals who don't care about nothing but what they make in the act, in the show, it's not even about being safe, but how ignorant they are to continue what they do. That's why I'm surprised people still watch the media. I mean, it's mind-boggling, to say the least, without allowing it to control the apparatus that we are. You know what I mean? I sit there and I can't stand watching the news. Even when it's good information, that's when they decide to give y'all a few crumbs. Give us. I'm going to say us. I can't say me because I don't care about it. They give people a few crumbs. The dog was sucking the drain, and it took 7 firefighters and a couple of police officers, and one lucky man came along and climbed down, and there was a rapid, water was from the flood, and there was a puppy or a deer, and yeah, man, stow that shit. It's good stuff, but stow it. And then they go right into mass shooting. See how the mass shooting thing right now? Isn't it funny if you took a little time and go back a little bit, 15, 20 years, and look all the statistics of shootings, and look how often the news reported on them, you realize what they're doing is deliberate. Why would they want to take your guns when it's not us committing the crime? Those of us who are about protecting, I go out there and save a police officer's ass in a heartbeat. I'm not thinking whether he's corrupt or wrong. I'm thinking about the right action, depending on what is going on. Now, you're out there beating somebody mercilessly, or you're overseas for no reason. I'm the type of person to come and knock you upside your head and knock you out. And if I'm with about 30 guys, it's a bigger problem than just me doing that. See, those people aren't out there. They stay away from being implicated in positions of trouble. But what happens when they decide to police themselves and stop the fool? I ain't talking about some Black Panther bull crap and all this other felonious ad hominem and adding them. I ain't talking about all that foolishness. I'm talking about people who know they can stand up and do some serious problems that would make even National Guard say, wait a minute, we got to bring the spec ops in here. And even they say, well, what's the numbers? Because there's a lot of individuals out here that move like the wind, that haven't taken no friggin' shot that's going to kill them down the road. Okay? Who haven't believed in the lies because they're consumed by them. This is not a threat. This is reality. And people don't want to hear the lie no more. They want to hear the truth, but the system is not geared nor nurtured by nor from the truth. I'm not here to expose what exposes itself on a daily basis. I'm here to say to people, are you really going to wake up and pay attention to what's going around in your circle, around you? Look at all these young punk little Negroes running around shooting everybody. Well, they got a whole bunch of Palestinians doing it too, but you don't see that make the news that much, do you? Latinos shooting at cops like, I mean, it's you only get a little bit of that, which you get a lot of videos of. Look at the little dumb skinny soy punk walk down there like his buddies would do, and these dudes correcting him, telling him no, and he goes to his so-called buddy, another brother in chaos, and he grabs the damn AR platform, whether it's 22, 223, whatever it is, and starts shooting the guy and hits him in the leg a couple of times. Like, what does that solve? And you can hear other shootings, other people doing the same thing. News is the fourth winning of the government propaganda. Yeah, of course. Whether it's fourth, fifth, third, first, I don't know. I believe like we have Hollywood, we have TV. I guess those are the first two platforms, but media plays right in with TV. So, and then as far as language, telling people about certain sites, not telling the truth of certain sites, and giving a narrative of dinosaurs, fossil fuel, and all that bullshit is another one. And that's where it starts. Number one, education system. Where number one should be the truth from family. But when you break families and tear them down and rewrite their history because of wars, men not being there, women having to fight, scared, feared, moving, leaving lands. I mean, we can go back a couple of centuries, to break all that down. I was talking to a good brother of mine, Kwame Nutt. He's a musician, boxer, vegan. Lives in England. He's math. We don't like the word Africa, but he's from over there. You see what I'm saying? Originally, and Uganda, I believe, and Ghana. That's my bro. That's my and we know we're distant brothers, not by way of Africa. You get what I'm saying? But all land masses when it was one, because it's well documented in my oral history and traditions and teachings, and in documents and books that it was all one land mass, and them Zionists had to get rid of that, but it's still there. The land mass correctly drawn. Well, how could they map the so-called stars in the heavens when the heavens are supposed to be right around us? They had to divide in order to create a new world order, to dismiss the organic natural order. People don't want to hear that stuff. You see what I'm saying? Why? It don't feel good. It don't make you feel cozy and comfortable. You know how often people walking around all day believing the earth is round, and they know it based upon facts, but they still got you believing after they told you 15 years ago that we couldn't get out in space because of the called Van Allen belt. But here we got someone so with the electric car, that cat, the X project, and everybody's going and they're showing them bullshit videos. Hollywood's gave you the whole lapel. Look at the guy who made the first moon and he came out and told the truth. How many years ago was that? 20, 30 years ago? About, oh yeah, we did all that in the studio. It was fun. His ass is gone now, but I think he's gone. Is he passed on? And he told the truth. Was it Buzz Aldrin or what's that? He went to my high school, Mount Hebron. My middle school, Mount Hebron. Anyway, remember he went to the Antarctic or the so-called South Pole, and when he came back, they had to put him in a gurney, and they had to take him somewhere and get medicine, downers or whatever, and put him in check, or they were going to end his life. He said it's evil. Well, he got to see some things and partake in some things that were very evil. Why is it that we always hear on the news, China, Russia, America, blah, blah, blah. Biden is their butt. All governments are all close unless somebody decides to step out and do their own thing because of false narrative of power and start creating genocide, or it's deemed for them to do that because they're willing to sacrifice. See, people don't want to believe in that. I'm not here to burst no bubbles and cause no hate and this, that, discontent, this, that. I'm not here to hear all the goofballs come off when they decide to come when I start getting, and say, well, you know what? That's just crazy. Well, I have no problem with allowing a person to express their emotional unstableness. They need to get it out. Who am I? How can I stop? Be as emotionally unstable as you can. Let it all out so those who are coming back into order, natural order, can see it. And see it for what it is without being judgmental, without feeling some kind of way, but becoming more adequate and seeking more order. See, this is what they worry about. This is something they cannot stop. All the murders, all the people in positions, all the things they're doing. You would think there are those who all of a sudden gain a conscience. Order has a way of reaching out, man. And they think they can bury it as quick as they buried history. History is not buried. History is in front of everybody. Nobody can see it because they have blinders. Hell, they're walking around with serious, organic, illegal tints over their eyes. I remember somebody hit me up a message and said, hey, look, man, Ray, bro, I watched your video, man. I love what you was talking about. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to share it. Boom, boom, boom. But why don't you get some lights? I said, well, I got to be like everybody else, brother. Is it not good enough for my silhouette or my voice? I says, everybody wants to text all the time, right? But check this out. Are you talking and walking with them and looking at them? But you can text your ass off. You can say anything you want until you're on platforms like Facebook or Instagram, which is one and the same. And they like to block everybody. They like to censor. News censors real information. They have an agenda to build upon, and the majority of them are ignorance, while the top ones know exactly what's going on. So if you want to be in that circle, getting spewed from nonsense, and that's the stuff they'll use on Snopes.com, which is also another Zionist platform, to use all these little think takers talking about we're using fact checkers who are, come on. Have y'all seen some of these fact checkers and check out what's relevant to the history of the story? No, they utilize the information now, Google and all that. They don't go to the Library of Congress. They haven't traveled around the earth. They pull up recent information that's baseless and factless. And if you talk about something from the past, like, oh, talk about Abe Lincoln. Let's see if a fact checker come on face check and check you on the pale skin version or the melanated version. Well, I've been around the world and I've seen the real Abe Lincoln. It ain't this motherfucker they keep putting up. Are they going to change it? Of course not. Because they got so many of y'all believing in conspiracy theory without knowing what conspiracy or theory is. It boggles my mind. Now, see, I have nothing against nobody. I was a young, and I'm still a young, really. We're supposed to live very long. Just like they cut out dogs' lives. In the 70s, you only had 3 bags of dog food. Most of the time, they ate from us. That's why they lived so long. Aristotle, miniature collie had lived 21 years. Now, how long has your miniature collie lived? Yeah, that's what I thought. Because he ate our food. He didn't get all fat. Now that he ran, he played, he was always off the leash. Mean than a summer bitch, because we was all mean. Stubborn and everything. And you can't tease him. Because he put them paws on it. And our food back then was decent. And then if you look back then in the 1960s and 70s and see the people who were taking over food companies, like you got Kroger. I mean, come on, we can't make this stuff up. Who was buying up all the farmland, right? The banks. Who runs the banks and owns them. But nobody wants to talk about that. So who's controlling the narrative and controlling the people with the lies and keep putting them in? Who's the eugenicist of the out of Africa theory? What's his name? What's his belief? What's his background? What was his whole thing about Palestine or Uganda? It could have been Uganda before it was Palestine. That could have been Israel. And there are landmark places in Uganda just like over here, but they want those hidden because they know that the Jew is a new people. Any Hebrew running around talking about we're the real Jews, you's a stupid one. I'm gonna be very blunt when I say that. You are just as conditioned, just so much of a petri dish of zombiness. But your arrogance and ignorance, because you have solidified yourself in that belief and construct that keeps division and separation. I'm here to tell you, our pale-skinned brothers need more help and assistance today than they ever needed. Even when the leprosy and the genetic change that was going through some of our people were taking in other things that produced them, they're always going to be produced. They're still being born today. And here we are eating pig, chicken, and beef. Which one of them are from here? And that's the main thing you always see in some damn chef or TV, the best prime cut. Go get you a steak, Outback Steakhouse, Western, Red Lobster, where you can get lobster and a steak, or chicken and steak, or the Chinese restaurants, right? Well, China didn't become China to the 1600s. Japan didn't become Japan to the 1600s. Before that, the majority of people there were dark as mid fucking night. And then they want y'all to believe that, what's his name? I forget his name. Y'all know I'm a martial artist, but that brother was a samurai. They sent his ass segregation when they got done with him. The shoguns were dead to a land where his people were sent. Besides the ones that were murdered, killed, or went up with the Ainu people were still up in the tops in the mountains. Some of them still have big frizzy long hair, big broad and wide noses like us. And their old stories, go to Japan and visit them and ask them about the Hata people. Why is it that this was called the East? Now it's called the West. When did that start? Around, forget what they write about, 14, 15, 16, 1700s. The West was incorporated in Theodore Teddy Roosevelt's education system. That Zionist creation when he got into politics. Because they said they needed us now that they killed the real Indian. Now it applies to descendants of the Europeans, other people that came here. Conquerors and all. Okay, right? It was always the East before that. So they've got a whole generation believing this is the West because hey, America was great, the 4th of July, the military, blah, blah. So this is the West, the West, the West. And everybody around the world saying the West. Well, they all reared in the same ignorance. But you go to an old timer and they won't say nothing about none of that. They'll be like, any of them that's still alive in their 90s or 100. Except for those of us who knew some of us who knew actually people who were children and fought in the Civil War. And they were now feel like they were safe enough to tell the truth. And they gave our little young ass ears a beating that is still confusing in my old ass, man, my 55 fucking years now. I'm still conflicted with certain things I remember listening to and some stories. You know, Uncle Tanny was talking. You know, how do you make sense of it when your grandma's telling you stuff and whispering, and you're at the table and she's looking at windows, and there's nobody around us except for neighbors in houses? You know, how does a kid? Is that traumatic? Yeah, it's traumatic because the system's teaching you something different, and here you have family members telling you something else. So who do I believe? Well, now I know for a fact my great great uncle and my great grandma told me the truth. She babysitted me so long and so many times. I was abused as a child from my mama. Her weakness is she can't even admit to that to move forward. She thinks it's natural moving forward in ignorance. I love all my family. I would really like to see people get their heads up out of their behinds and really, really learn something. Allow themselves to learn something they didn't know before. And it's not about being appreciative. It's no ego trip. It's none of that. It's a lot that I would like to see people allow themselves to see something for what it is and not for what somebody puts a worth on. They lie to us all the time. It's so second. You have the so-called fake Republican Party and the fake Democratic Party. And all they do is make sure that everybody stays divided. Racists actually believe that conservatives is for racism. No, racism started with the Democratic Party. And most people down south, a lot of y'all families ain't come over here, came at Ellis Island, put a uniform on, came down fighting the South. And when we were betrayed by William and a couple other punk ass motherfuckers, but we wasn't losing shit. Then all the terrorists started, and y'all started moving into our houses on our goddamn land. And some of our people stayed down there because they wasn't no push-up. So when the lynching started, and how bad were they? And it was always on our soil, in our neighborhoods, on Indian soil, if you want to use that term. And even with the lynching and stuff, we were still whooping their ass. You know how many Palestinians we lynched, hung, butchered up, quartered, threw all over the place? You'll never see that in the history books because then that takes away from white supremacy. Some fake ass, broad, narrow-minded crap. No, we're gonna listen to everybody else talking about well, the Black Power struggle and the Black and now you didn't see it before. Now on news and everybody especially out the pale skin's mouth, the arrogant, ignorant motherfuckers who ain't got no real identity. You're not Aryan, you're not Caucasian, you're not white. That black belongs to fucking melanated, very dark melanated nobility in Upper Mesopotamia. You don't even know nothing about that, except for what your fake ass archaeologists and this that tell you. Why don't you come back over to your grandpa's side and learn something, pay attention for once in your life. Your big brothers and sisters, my pale skin brothers, if you decide to stand up, a lot of us don't have hate for you, but if it was to go that way, trust me, it'd be terribly different, and it doesn't matter how much count, all that other shit don't mean nothing, because if you really learn about history, you'd realize that's why they're doing the vax thing, man. Well, they got 5 different companies now. Pfizer, Moderna, whatever. I'm not giving that shit no energy. And they never talk about the side. Well, they put them out and then they censor the side effects and people that die. How would they look right now saying, yeah, Hank Aaron died from the vaccine shot? They don't give a flying fuck. First of all, if Biden's sick, no memory having ass took that shot for real, and that little mock-up act, and we can see that he didn't really get hit, he wouldn't be alive today. And obviously Kamala Harris didn't take the shot. She's so blatant, she don't give a damn. She probably ready to do an LBJ like he did on LBJ on Biden, like LBJ did on Kennedy. Play that part. That secret society, that, But see, Biden's doing his damnedest to do the best act he can, and he's probably like Hitler with stimulants and everything else, and Hitler didn't want to fight nobody. How many people seen those documents where it shows Hitler was like, I don't want to do this? But who created the problem and pushed his hand? Well, talk about it. Tell it. Well, they were still in Poland. And he snapped their ass out, and we have many of our people right from here in America who fought with him in the Blitzkrieg. A lot of them died. But they had the fear, they put the fear of gods in them. But you never read about it because the Zionists can't tell you that. Because that fake white supremacy, when most Zionists, they don't call themselves white. Only the dumbass Jews raised here in America call themselves white. To implicate themselves with some kind of felonious power, saying we're the children of so-and-so. But you're the children of the fuck of us. Stop them imaginary motherfucking characters. They don't want to hear that. Nobody want to talk about that real shit. Nobody wants to talk about anything that's real. They want to keep talking about a whole lot of nonsense. I remember I was dealing with this cat. I was in the military. I'm not going to say where he's from, but he was a gang member. He had a choice. Vietnam era. You can go to prison or you can go join the military. Well, I guess where he lived at, where the Caliphs were amalgamated into the Spaniards and the Chinos, the Chinese, Spanish, and the Mongolians that came in 1830 to conquer that side, decreed by the Vatican, the Zionists that control that. At that time, they were called something else. They weren't called Zionists during that period of time. Are y'all aware of that? Well, find out that word and come back and put it in the information, and then I'll expand on it. Yeah, well, how do I know they married into my fucking family for land and everything else that was given because of the Moroccan and all that shit? We're not Moors. The treaties with France. See, nobody wants to talk that good stuff. They want to talk all the foolish stuff they know. Because it's comfortable. I saw it in a book. What book? What publishing company? Who cleared it? Who okayed it? What's older than it? How much research have you done? Did you take the time to really look at something and say, wait a minute. No, those of us that have were raised differently. That means old guard, gatekeepers, who still have a little bit of that truth. You see what I'm saying? We're the ones who have been sharing this information, allowing and implicating ourselves and putting things out there. Reason why things are the way they are right now. Look, I was in school fighting about being an Indian. That's right. Got kicked out of high school. We're fighting teachers and principals. Tell me who the fuck I was. You just a black man. Your people come from Africa. I remember I was always in the library. I said, fucking Africa didn't exist until 19. Get the fuck out of here. And it says, now, hell, during World War I, it was still called the Ethiopian Sea. When did it become an Atlantic Sea? When they put that in there? In new history. See, this is what I'm talking about. Now, why is it called Pacific? I don't hear nobody talking about this stuff. No, I hear people talking about, yeah, we're talking about stuff because it's pertinent and it's important to now. I told a friend of mine, and I told him to make sure when I go live, he come on. I'm gonna schedule it. I'm gonna talk about 12 Wolf in the Dark Wolf. I'm gonna talk about the singing grass, the whispering leaves, the dancing suns and moon. What can I say? I'm just gonna share and continue to share my knowledge as far as what I knew growing up and what I see now and how fast they have ramped it up in utter pure ignorance because power does one thing to people. Besides keeping far away from order, it corrupts them totally. It corrupts them completely. Do not allow yourself to fall into some fake demography of power because it is a false perception. Even the word itself implicates you in something that has no order. Anyone to speak on power lacks truth in it, knowledge in it, and understanding of what power really is, will never be able to bring forth evidence. Because see, power speaks for itself, and it's not by actions of warfare, competition, hate, none of that. Power is order. Raw power created all this, us, Earth. And we don't have a lint of an idea because we are so far separated from it. No, we got idiots wanting to be feminists and men who don't know what they are and women who don't know what they are and this, that, and other, and they think that is all natural. When I was born, I think I got two inoculations. Said that before. What are the kids getting now? Like 100? I mean, well, 16 or some shit. And this is how the enemy feels. Well, only the strong survives. You can't make this up, man. It affects everybody. Look, right here, right? I don't want to do this on here, but I'm going to do this just for the sake of education purposes. So, all right. So, I get weed medicinally. I can get it recreational. I can go buy it wherever I want. I can grow it if I want to. All right. So, right here, and this is one of my strawberry fields. My favorite. It's a couple of grams. My favorite. This one is OG Kush. The flowers almost look the same, but the OG Kush is a little more sticky. They're both wet, and the flavors are. I'm not gonna show all my stuff. It's not. I'm not here to promote what the federal government considers a drug. Medicinal purpose: THC and CBD and CBG, CBA. Those things are the most important to me, and whatever else that are beneficial. Just like shrooms are good. But they have been poisoning us with stuff to counter-react to the healthy good stuff. They have been putting it in our foods for decades now. They've been putting it in our water with certain chemicals. And nanites, they've been putting it everywhere. Spraying it in the air everywhere. For what? Nobody can answer that. Other than the fact to kill, to disfigure, disorient, to destroy. Because it's not based upon order. It's based upon chaos. Chaos is simple. I'm using a simplified way of versing something that's bigger than that problem. But it's all chaos. I would just love for my people. Hey, look, man, from now on, subscribe, like, share the shit out of it. Hit them likes, get them views up, because I'm not gonna drop media stuff unless that happens. And see, I don't care about algorithms and people all that watching and whatever they want, how they want to control it. They don't want peace, and I'm all about peace of self. It always starts with one. It starts with self. It doesn't start with a whole group of people talking about how my name is James and I'm an alcoholic and I'm going to give it to a higher power. They want you to give it away to something so you stay sick. You have to keep seeking somebody else to keep them from being sick, who's still going to be sick because they're not. It took yourself to realize you had a problem, right? And to stop in the first place, drug, whatever it is, sex, whatever it is, right? Speeding in cars, robbing houses. That is that order, touching that spark. That's what's called, that spark, that little dimmer of light. You are walking light. You are pure energy, and they work hard to dimmer it. Please like and share if you're subscribed. If you have not subscribed, I appreciate that. I'm not going to put all that stuff. I'm going to do a little video thing where I'm going to upload it, where it's going to be like my little intro. I'm going to do a little banner or something too across the top. A lot of people knew me when I was in New York. I was an inventor. I like to invent. I made this thing called tank screw or tank bolt. This guy named James, Irish guy, working for Inventec. After dealing with this guy for a year and a half, starting to send $60 in to pay on it, he stole my idea, was gone, and thank goodness I didn't give him any of my other ones. He had a notion about one of my other ones, and he actually went to a place to talk with the military, Home Depot, and all these other places for heavy equipment. And now, if I was to see it, I would recognize it. It's my design, it was my idea, it's a powerful creation that can do some awesome things with similar and dissimilar metals as far as longevity, not needing to weld. I mean, it's, the whole thing is, but yeah, 1986, United States Nimitz, CBN 70, whatever the fuck. I was down, we was up close to the forecastle, our birthing, about the ship. And I sit there and draw because I was in the graffiti and the break dancer and all that. And I drew this design with cargo pants, and because I was in the military. So the idea of cargo pants, I wore the green Vietnam, and BDU, BDUs, whatever you call them, jungle pants. And I put and one. And we said the same when we was in our shop, ordnance, dealing with weapons and bombs. And we'd be like, well, we need 5 people. We only got 4. And it's always and one, motherfucker. I created that. I didn't know nothing about people stealing anything from us. I didn't know about who was working on my shoulders. People were always watching me design this stuff and draw. I throw papers away. Comes out the Navy. I goes to Farmer Mills and I see and one sold to Nike. They're so cheap. So that means somebody got a hold of it. And they made money. Yeah, I literally created that. Fuck what they say. 1986, United States goddamn Nimitz. Mr. JB right here created, and fucking, this is not cloud chasing or nothing. This is a real reality. Cargo pants, t-shirts. I had the mock necks, English mock necks with the and one, break dancer, Kango, and one, streamline around the pants and around the sleeves. I had the pocket on the front. I had a pocket in the back for the girl to pop something in real quick, pull the knife out if she got it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I had all these ideas. I had a zipper on top of a zipper where you could hide money so if they come to check. But man, I had all this stuff that I created. I know, Donnie, hey, what's going on? I know what's on. I know, even though they blocked me on Facebook, I always go on there and look whenever I decide. On here, I have it, not on my phone. And I see all the names and everything. So mad respect, mad love. And it's good people, y'all. More come on. Yeah, I remember it's work day. It's Tuesday, but it's okay. And I created that, and I've talked about this over the years, man. Found kind of I got kind of got somebody on it, and they found out plenty of information, and I just told them no. I don't run right into things. I don't. I wait until the best opportunity. Opportunity, whatever I say, opportunity. Um, it's like this car dealership, the bank that I'm using. I was lied to about them. And even though my payments are very low, they're still robbing. And I told them that I'm going to sue them, and I'm not playing. I have my exhibits A, B, and C based upon the laws they follow. The fact that they don't practice it because they're all corrupt, and they won't see it because they think they're always going to get away with it. As long as we're here, I'm going to do what has to be done because they don't like order. Hell, they don't even know what order is. Most people don't have a clue as to what order is. Well, I'm at the 46-minute, going on 47-minute mark, and I'm gonna shut it down. I just wanted to drag that up. I'll be definitely coming back on around about 7 o'clock. That'll be 10 o'clock East Coast, so-called East Coast time for those who believe in that. And it's gonna get a little meatier. Something to think about. All right, I got the mouse down here. I can go right here and do it. All right, I can actually use my phone. I got my I'm not gonna pull it out, but I got this little thing on the side here. Now my phone, I can pull up the keyboard, and with my finger, because I can draw on it, I can do everything right here. So, but let's keep it real simple. I'll let y'all later. Y'all have a wonderful day.